Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 531 based on novel. So let's start. Darkness and demonic energy were engulfing Su Shuiying little by little, but the scorching heat made her feel something. Despair emerged in my heart, but at the gap of the sky at the end of the demon abyss, there was a figure bathed in gorgeous flames, and now he was roaring and roaring, destroying the countless demonic energy in the demon abyss. Trying to get close, to save himself. Obviously he has no cure, but why is he still unwilling to give up? Who is this guy? Su Shuiying's mind was slightly touched. It seemed that this figure was very familiar to her, but she couldn't recall it at this moment. She tried to open her eyes to see clearly, but the surrounding ghosts released countless magical energy, a little bit of confinement, wrapped in own. Is it Feng Laro? Or that guy? No, it is absolutely impossible to be that guy. That guy fought against the Holy Demon Lord, and many auras in his body were greatly restrained. If he entered the demon abyss at this time, it would be tantamount to self-destruction. A group of smart people would never do such a stupid thing. He tried hard to control the last trace of strength in his body to detect it. It seemed that he had exhausted the last trace of strength, and he wanted to witness the last ray of hope in this despair with his own eyes. The beautiful eyes opened with great effort, but they got an accurate result. At the gap in the sky above the demon abyss, there is a thin black figure rushing towards Xiao Yan. At the very end of the demon abyss, it was also the source of Su Shuiying's initial fall. At this time, here, the shadow of a red-eyed demon burst out with monstrous energy, slaying the countless breaths in the demon abyss. Although Xiao Yan's actions were stupid, they gave Su Shuiying quite a shock. Why? He had already used the magic sword to help him kill the Holy Demon Lord. He clearly could take this opportunity to unify the demon world and make his own power even more powerful. Why should he sacrifice his life to save himself? I am just a sinner. It's not worth it at all. In the sky above Mo Yuan, the long-suppressed demon power began to fill Xiao Yang's entire body little by little. His limbs, flesh and blood, and even his soul all boiled at the same time. That power is like a demon that has just been released from the cage. He can't wait to show his extraordinary power and let the evil power in this demonic world completely crawl under his own destructive power. The huge demon soul shadow stood behind Xiao Yang, and in the dark green pupils, it released a very disdainful look of contempt, watching the shadow climbing on Su Shuiying. When Xiao Yang was in, he was torn into powder by his shadow. Compared with the power of demons, such magic power is too cowardly. It's only right and proper for a brother to protect his sister. The rest, leave it to me. The endless scorching flames around Xiao Yang washed away the countless demonic energy in this demonic abyss, and the scorching temperature scorched the demonic energy cleanly. Do not. You don't know at all. The demon abyss is left by the power of the first-generation demon god. If this goes on, we will all die. A happy and contented smile emerged from his face, as if speaking in a pleading tone. You don't want to die yet, do you? Listening to Su Shuiying's last sensible voice, Xiao Yang's crazy demeanor revealed a humane smile just now. Su Shuiying did not dare to face Xiao Yang, and shook her head slightly. Then I'll behead this fellow. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, pure holy flame power and demon power emerged together, and then his eyes fixed on the strange shadow behind Su Shuiying. Since this guy insisted on killing Su Shuiying, why did he kill this fellow? There are thousands of monsters and monsters in the magic energy, but so what? Sheng Yang, the self under the blessing of demon power, even the countless powers left over from the first generation of demon gods, can all be slaughtered. First generation demon god, I know you're here, get out of here. Xiao Yang glanced at the void, but no sound responded to Xiao Yang. This person, I have to save. If you insist on blocking, even if I try my best, I will definitely fight you here for life and death. On Xiao Yang's body, large and small devil's horns, holy flames and flames differentiated, easily completely subverting the entire demon abyss space. All powerful powers come at a price. When she absorbed the power of my stone statue, she and I had already reached a certain kind of deal, a contract. She used the magic sword to help you kill the evil god, and this ***** charges his own interest, why not? At the same time, the dark shadows that had been dormant quietly on Su Shuiying's body surged, and an incomparably evil voice emerged. Any price, you can mention it at will. But today, I have to save it. In Xiao Yang's icy voice, there was no room for negotiation, as if possessed by the strongest and arrogant demon in this world. How do you fight me? Just because of the identity of the descendants of the Xiao clan? Or is it your strength at the pinnacle of the 6th level reincarnation? Your strength is good, but you can't compare to me and other peaks in the world. Demonic shadows surged, sneering voices emerged, and the demonic energy around him accelerated his devouring Su Shuiying. Xiao Yang, enough is enough. At this moment, facing the threat of the shadow, Xiao Yang's eyes suddenly turned into the original dark color. Su Shuiying used the last of her strength to force a smile. That's fine. There's no need to put your life in for yourself. Maybe, but if you haven't tried it, how do you know it won't work? Even if all the energy in my body is exhausted, and every drop of blood in my body is drained, it is still impossible to save today. In the demon abyss, the strange demonic energy flowed everywhere, and slapped at the body of the demon Xiao Yang at will. Such arrogant words all affected the blood in the body, making him crazy. When the first-generation demon ***** heard Xiao Yang's words, his calm heart was viciously shaken. Su Shuiying, who slowly fell into a deep sleep, all her soul power was swallowed up by assimilation, seemed to have been stabbed by some kind of sting, and suddenly broke free from the engulfing of the ghost. There was an incredible look in her beautiful eyes, and her tears flowed from red. Moist tears flowed from his eyes, and wet tears fell from his cheeks, covered with a long black dress, and a touch of sourness emerged. I recognize your audacity. It's a pity that she made a deal with me. She is now the best container for my rebirth. You said, this god will let go easily. All the demonic energy in the demon abyss began to boil and revolve, and layers of pitch-black evil radiance began to rise, and immediately poured into Su Shuiying's body little by little. At this time, Su Shuiying's whole body has undergone earth-shaking changes, as if she has completely transformed into a new existence. The magic power fluctuations in it are even higher than the 7th reincarnation level, reaching a whole new level. 8th level? In that case, let's fight. Devil. Xiao Yang let out a small smile, the blood of the demons filled the whole body without reservation, and the power in his body instantly became boiling to a level that even Xiao Yang himself could not control. Today's demon power can no longer help Xiao Yang increase his strength, but the power of the demon makes countless people in the world fear it. Elder Xiao Yang. Holy King. After a while, Su Shuiying raised her wicked face, and in her deep pupils, she saw a slightly illusory figure behind her delicate body, and a strange figure behind Xiao Yang. Although the two voices are illusory, the power hidden in them is particularly shocking. Boom. Involuntarily, the power of the devil gathered in the fist, and blasted away directly at the 9-story demon abyss below. Damn boy. At this moment, the magic shadow in Su Shuiying's body was occupied, and she could only roar fiercely, and then left her body instantly and poured into the endless magic abyss below. Fart. The entire demon abyss has become quiet again, but it can be vaguely found that there are a total of 9 faults in this demon abyss, and it seems that each layer contains a terrifying magic power. Xiao Yang. I'm sorry. The control of the body returned to Su Shuiying's body, and the magic sword in her hand released a violent wave, as if welcoming her new master of heart, but the magic energy in it was still on the verge of a complete collapse at any time. www.mtlnovel.com Eat it. With my blood, it can completely help you fuse the 2 holy flames and stabilize the many demonic chi in your body. You. Neat and white teeth were lightly biting on Xiao Yang's arm, traces of extremely majestic and pure blood, slowly pouring into the body along Su Shuiying's jade mouth. There are many holy flames, demons and other forces in it. With Xiao Yang's unrelenting help, the many hidden dangers in Su Shuiying's body were finally completely resolved at this moment, and her strength was firmly at the peak of the 6th layer reincarnation, but it would be very difficult to make breakthroughs in the future. Looking at the emaciated figure in front of him, the corners of Su Shuiying's eyes are now instantly moistened. The figure of this guy seems to have grown taller and irreplaceable in his heart and mind. It's alright, don't do such a dangerous thing next time. Come on, there are still some things I need to deal with. Well, listen to you, brother Xiao Yang. Susu, it's really bad luck. It seems that the time for rebirth has been delayed again. The void of the demon abyss began to dim, and a touch of powerful magic was slowly dissipating here. Obviously, the whereabouts and even the breath of this first-generation demon **** are very strange. How is this going? Just as Xiao Yang's figure poured into the demon abyss, the fire elves who were present immediately looked up at the sky, and a creepy aura slowly emerged and descended. Through the void of the sea of magic, one can vaguely see that the world of the outside world of the Devil's Palace has suddenly become dark, and a slightly illusory and eerie melting pot is as eerie as a phantom, quietly emerging from the sky. Countless dazzling red blood demons were painted all over the furnace, and countless scarlet blood rained down from the sky. The whole world seemed to be completely shaken at this moment. In addition, not only the Devil's Palace, but also countless other areas of the Devil world, large and small, are all performing this scene. The black flame furnace is like an abyss magic mouth sheltered by the breath of death. Just emerging, it is ruthless, absorbing all the power between heaven and earth, the terrible fluctuations contained in it, trying to destroy everything here. This fluctuation, in the black flame furnace, is the power of the demon lord. The expressions of the people around the sea of magic changed dramatically. Among them, the Zhuling layman suddenly raised his head, but he smelled a terrifying wave of discoloration from the black furnace. The black flame furnace was shaking slowly, and there was even a shadow that became more and more solid, and there was some kind of supreme magic power gathering and compressing. Elder Taishang, Xiao Yi and other strong men looked at each other in dismay. Apparently there was no better way to deal with it now. This is the fluctuation of demigods. The supreme elder of the Fire Elf clan has just appeared, and his calm eyes are filled with a dignified color. With his 6-layered reincarnation level strength, he can feel an unprecedented aura of destruction from it. An attack of that level was not something that he could intercept with his own power. Call the powerhouses of the Demon Palace and those of the Endless Fire Realm, and evacuate this place. All the powerhouses above the reincarnation rank, come with me, and use the power of reincarnation to perform fighting skills, which is bound to stop the advent of this technique. Rong Juanxiu's Taishang elder behind him had a solemn tone, and his eyes were full of bitterness. Half magic. Hearing the words of the elder Taishang, Xiao Yi, the first elder, and Princess Chen Qin couldn't help looking at each other. The fighting skills of demigods. With that level of vision, I am afraid that it is enough to make all those who are less powerful than the 7th-layer reincarnation in the demon world be destroyed in body and spirit. That is an extremely large-scale lethal fighting skill. Mosen, this lunatic. When the powerful man belonging to the Demon Palace heard the words, the feeling of the rest of his life dissipated in an instant, and a gloomy coldness reappeared on his face again. The catastrophe in the demon world has just ended, and this demon venerable has done this again. This guy clearly wants to use the destruction of the demon world to pay homage to him as a stepping stone for the new evil god. Ha ha ha. The idiot of the holy demon lord, in order to use the power of angels, he can't even condense his own evil artifact. Now that he has fallen into your hands, he can be regarded as self-rewarding. But, since the catastrophe in the demon world was started by me, let me end it completely today. In the sky, the black furnace rose and trembled, and a gloomy black-robed man appeared on it, and there was no trace of pity in his sneering, frantic voice, as if the life and death of all the creatures here were within a single thought. Demon Lord! The World Master at the center of the demon world, he really did it. At this moment, the powerhouses in the other 4 regions and other places raised their heads at the same time, looking at the phantom of the furnace and the gloomy figure above the sky, and they were also keenly aware of something. Their respective spaces are imprisoned and unable to enter and exit, and even this scene of the black flame furnace is all controlled by this guy secretly. This utter lunatic. Go. Boom. The sky of fire. Devil god Tian Xian Shou. When the crisis came, Xiao Yang, who had entered the demon abyss to save Su Shuiying, had not yet appeared. The Fire Elf family and many powerhouses in the Demon Palace could only take action at the same time. A thick energy light shield shelters the huge area of the entire Demon Palace. The other 4 places and other places are all driven by the powerhouses of the demon world and the support powerhouses of the Endless Flame Alliance to jointly drive the majestic vigor that destroys the dry and the rotten, and shelters the land under their feet, the void. No! This appearance looks like a kind of phantom image. The real casting location is not here. You must find the real casting point and destroy it, otherwise, no one can deal with this situation. Looking at the twisted and bizarre scene on the sky, Zuna and Kaylin were keen to discover something. The display of demigods is by no means easy. The catastrophe is slowly coming, and in the respective regions of the entire devil world, countless strong people are fighting **** battles for it. Here, unlike the ghost world, they all use their actions to protect the guy they depend on for survival. Stunned. For a time, on the foreheads of many Demon Palace powerhouses, the magic fire of the curse imprint began to flash with dazzling brilliance, and even the power in their bodies actually received some kind of weak increase. Although it was weak, the increase was real. Su Shuiying, isn't she dead? She actually succeeded. At this moment, many Demon Palace experts were overjoyed and felt the magic power in their bodies that had grown due to the Holy Flame Seal. Boom. In the endless demonic abyss below, a monstrous thrust burst out, swallowing the two figures completely in an instant. One of them flickered with demonic energy, and a demonic evil sword controlled the jade hand, and the other, a sacred flame rose from his body, but the fluctuations in his body made countless people sigh. Second brother? Su Shuiying. The fire elf family and the others immediately rejoiced when they saw the demonic power rising from Xiao Yang's body. Take care of her for me, this guy, leave it to me. Xiao Yang nodded at Su Shuiying, and then kept his eyes fixed on the black flame furnace above the clouds in the sky outside, and the figure of the demon standing on it. The magic sword has been completely controlled by me. Don't forget the promise you made at the beginning. Su Shuiying's face instantly turned cold, and she said to the high-level officials behind the 3 demons and 6 evils. If the catastrophe in the demon world ends, the entire demon world will be your master. Second brother, the coalition forces we support the other 4 worlds have been imprisoned and isolated, and the forces of the coalition forces cannot gather together. The picture above the sky is probably some kind of fantasy. The demon venerable is using the fighting skills of the demigod rank impressively. It seems that only by finding his body and destroying the spellcasting can he. Xiao Yi came to Xiao Shan in an instant, explaining the method of cracking now, and the magic piano in her hand became more and more hideous. That's true. But it's too late for time. Trust me. On the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth, an evil and charming smile that did not belong to humans began to appear, and the demonic light in his pupils and around his body became deeper and deeper. Everyone, the power of the demigod-level fighting skills is fierce. If it comes here, I am afraid that the entire demon world will be destroyed in one fell swoop. Please join hands and create a latitude of reincarnation for me that is transformed by the power of reincarnation. I will personally kill the demon venerable here. Either he died or I died. Xiao Yang's figure seems to have crossed the obstacles of countless magical powers, and is passed on to the minds of countless demonic creatures. Okay. With the appearance of Xiao Yang's fearless spirit, in the countless voids in the demon world, one after another impassioned voices, combined with the large and small fighting skills, turned out to be vaguely gathering towards the sky, a scene completely changed by the reincarnation. The special forbidden world composed of power isolates the entire sky. The reincarnation latitude space completely emerged in the sky, and circles of white energy ripples rose out of the void, isolating most of the destructive forces in this world, even the fighting skills of the semidivine rank. In it, I am afraid that the power will also be greatly reduced. This is also the last reliance of countless demon creatures. Xiao Yang, why are you doing all this useless work? Even if this reincarnation latitude space formed by the power of reincarnation is established, but you can't find the hiding place of my body, how can I use it? Once demigods come, the destruction of the demon world is an imperative. The deity is naturally meticulous in doing things, so how could you take advantage of it? Above the sky, the demon venerable standing in the black flame furnace turned his head and showed a tragic smile at Xiao Yang's standing position. Everything that I have planned will be perfect in the end. With the fall of the 5th evil god, the extraterrestrial evil clan will definitely reuse themselves. In addition, with the power of demigod-level fighting skills and the destruction of the demon world, they will establish their status as a new generation of evil gods from the extraterritorial evil clan, and their future status will be unmatched. The latitude of reincarnation has already been established, but how do you pull the demon lord into it now? Countless questions plagued the powerhouses, and obviously this was the most critical question at the moment. Elder 2, it's troublesome. At this moment, Xiao Yang suddenly confided to the rear, and his voice was filled with a taste of death. If this method fails, I am afraid that he will have to pay a huge price. Give it to me. Shinyu witchcraft, teleportation in a fixed point space. Fut. For a time, the strange reincarnation latitude space floating in front of Xiao Yang was suddenly taken into the palm of the hand of the supreme elder of the Fire Elf clan. Under the hesitant gaze of the demon venerable, the latter's palm was bathed in an extremely demonic halo. Completely past it out, the void is surging strangely, and I don't know where it leads. After that, Xiao Yang's figure disappeared, but at the moment of his disappearance, Xiao Yang's tense heartstrings fell. I still bet right. Demon Venerable uses phantoms to refract in countless areas of the devil world, trying to cause panic, but there are also flaws in it. Here. But Mosen has already made countless countermeasures. Xiao Yang's gamble is only because he doesn't understand the fire elves and the sorcery power that originated from Yaoji's majesty. Boom. The remote center of the devil world. Now the center of the devil world has already been set up by the devil to set up countless nets. Even if Xiao Yang and others tried their best to attack, it is enough to support the completion of the demigod technique and let it come completely. In the center of the entire demon world, he has already made a comprehensive strategy to deal with the energy of their respective attributes. However, the power of space exerted by the Supreme Elder of the Fire Elf clan actually sent the reincarnation latitude space and Xiao Yang's figure to the altar. It seems that the power of space controlled by this guy does not exist in the records of the Great Thousand World, and he directly ignores the many defenses he designed. That is the power of witchcraft created by Yaroji's majesty. In the entire Great Thousand World, apart from the Holy King, I am afraid that few people can understand the mystery. It's a miscalculation. Standing at the high altitude of the altar, Demon Venerable looked at Xiao Yang, whose radiance of demons was rising little by little in front of him, and sneered. He naturally knew Xiao Yang's details. Even now that the demigod technique was about to succeed, he was still somewhat worried in his heart. Using the countless powerful creatures in the center of the demon world as the source of strength, and performing demigod-level fighting skills, the name of Demon Venerable is well deserved. Xiao Yang threw it casually, and the dazzling power of the reincarnation latitude space in his hand completely dissipated, turning into a sky that shrouded the entire center of the demon world. Even if this fighting skill was fully deployed, it could greatly reduce the attack energy generated by the explosion. Successful kings and defeated pirates, why do you have to say this? Sacrifice it. Facing Xiao Yang's aggressive means, the Demon Venerable let out a roar, and countless tiny pitch-black magic lines appeared all over his body. As the magic lines wriggled, they seemed to be mobilizing countless powers to pour into the furnace. With the voice of the demon, in the countless regions of the entire demon world, some people in the demon world, large and small, the magic seal on the forehead is full of magic light, and the whole body pours into the sky uncontrollably, and finally falls into the black flame furnace in Phanta. The black flame furnace above the sky is clearly just a phantom illusion. Anyone who touches it will be destroyed in a while, and it will be transformed into a very pure blood. Little by little, it is passed through the strange phantom to the altar in the center of the demon world. Filled with the black flame furnace like the mouth of hell. The power in the furnace expands more and more, and it seems that it will explode completely in the blink of an eye. There's really no other way, so I can only give it a go. Come on, the power of the devil, the magic of holy flame. At this moment, Xiao Yang, the crazy thoughts in his mind became more and more intense. Two completely different light groups in the body, like two enemies from the past, each appeared in Xiao Yang's palm. Pub Future adds. Xiao Yang has tried the fusion of demons and holy flames in the past, but he has never been as crazy as today. Buzz. The fusion began, but it has dominated since the third holy flame. It seems that since Xiao Yang's strength broke through the peak of the sixth reincarnation rank, the heaven-shaking holy flame contained in the third holy flame has just begun to show its power. The dark green evil spirit light, the gorgeous fire source intertwined by the seven holy flames, was easily suppressed by the third holy flame fire. It looks more and more evil. Evil and evil, it makes people feel dizzy. Ha ha ha. Xiao Yang. The power of demigods is not something that you can display at the peak of your mere 6th level reincarnation level. Although the two completely different powers in Xiao Yang's body made Demon Venerable's heart tremble, seeing Xiao Yang's face as he was trying to perform a demigod technique, his face turned ashen, and even the power in his body was rapidly passing away. Demon Venerable couldn't help but sneered. Demigod. Is it still too hard? Feeling the passage of countless powers in the body, and the evil flames that merged with the power of the devil and the holy flame in front of him began to intensify, Xiao Yang's face was icy cold. Originally, I wanted to fuse the devil and the holy flame, and cooperate with the third holy flame to display the holy flame's original technique that is comparable to the demigod, but the current situation seems to be lacking. The fusion of the power of the devil and the holy flame in the body is extremely powerful, but when condensing the demigod fighting skills, a feeling of powerlessness emerges. The third sacred flame does possess fighting skills of the quasi-divine rank, but with his current strength, Xiao Yang is simply unable to mobilize it. The energy fluctuations after the fusion of the two have clearly reached the category of top immortal arts, but why can't they enter the category of demigod fighting skills? Could it be that you don't have enough power to use the demigod-level grace fighting skills? Or is there something, the key thing? The scenes that happened on the altar in the center of the demon world naturally appeared in the eyes of countless demon world creatures without reservation. At this moment, almost everyone held their breath. If Xiao Yang was unable to condense the demigod technique, I am afraid that the entire demon world would be destroyed by this. However, looking at Xiao Yang's strange expression and the various powers in front of him, although it is terrifying, it has not yet reached the category of demigod. Demigod. At this moment, Kalin, who was in the poison god realm, frowned. It seemed that when he was watching the demigod technique performed by the demon Venerable, the power of the 10-colored sky swallowing python in his body released a violent feeling. Zana, everyone, urge all the power in the body to gather in me and help me. Everyone, take the source of reincarnation in your body as a guide, and send me strength. This is the last chance. Kalin's cold humming sound resounded like the sound of the heavens through the whole world, and in an instant, a piece of scales bathed in 10 colors poured into the sky. The 10-color scales are filled with a burst of extremely special power. Just suspended in the sky, it is refracted on countless regions like a black flame furnace, which contains some kind of mysterious power that surpasses this piece of heaven and earth. Boom! The breath of fear and death lingered in my heart. After a while, in the demon world, whether it was a reincarnation rank or a fighting immortal, both hands were raised high, and the power of fighting immortals, the power of life and death, was almost 9 layers in the body. The power of reincarnation, etc., burst out against the 10-colored scales above the sky. The power of countless attributes converged into a beam of 10,000 Zhong energy and poured into the 10-color scales. This fluctuation even surpassed the power that formed the latitude of reincarnation. For a time, among the 10-color scales, there was a touch that was exactly the same as the black flame furnace. The power emerges. Is that the fluctuation of a demigod? Or the germination of demigods? Xiao Yang, catch it. This is the medium of power to use demigods. The power of countless powerhouses converged, and a pale color emerged from the back. Cai Lin covered the violently undulating chest, and hurriedly called out to Xiao Yang with a dignified expression on the altar. A medium for performing demigods. Looking at this scale, which was filled with a terrifying fluctuation that made the demon Venerable even talk about it, Xiao Yang said in astonishment. Hoo. Xiao Yang let out a heavy breath, and the 10-colored scales quietly merged into a group of evil lights in front of him. In an instant, the energy boundary that has been in the category of top immortal arts seems to have broken through an unbreakable shackle in an instant, a blazing evil light, and an unparalleled terrifying aura erupted. At this time, after absorbing the 10-colored scales, Xiao Yang's brewing attack suddenly arrived in the realm of demigod. This bastard, egg. Seeing Xiao Yang's move, Demon Venerable was furious, but now in the final stage of casting spells, he couldn't pull away his strength to stop Xiao Yang. 2 demigods. Countless powerhouses were weak, fell on the ground, raised their heads with difficulty, and looked at the 2 people in the latitude of reincarnation. Demigod, regional melting pot. Listen to the final chapter of destruction. With the hand of the Demon Venerable, the strange black flame furnace suddenly surged up like crazy. The scalp-numbing demonic energy continued to overflow from the furnace, and the scarlet magic light was like a deadly lightning, lingering in the whole body of the black flame furnace. As soon as the molten slurry surged, it fell with an evil force that engulfed all living beings, and blasted away at Xiao Yang, who was close at hand. That destructive force made the entire latitude of reincarnation tremble instantly. The ground around the entire altar began to shatter and collapse. Once it was touched by its power, it would all be destroyed in an instant, and it would be wiped out. Seeing this scene begin to descend and spread, the pupils of countless demon powerhouses turned red, the sourness in their eyes emerged uncontrollably, and a trace of blood mist dripped down with tears. The 10-color scales contain their last strength and hope. If this can't stop the Demon Venerable, destruction seems to be only a matter of time. 6-path psychic, golem. Seeing such a ferocious furnace fall, Xiao Yang opened his eyes suddenly. The 10-colored scales, the power of the devil, and the power of the holy flame were completely merged, and an orange-golden devil's shadow with a size of 10,000 zhong was dormant. 6 eyes, 6 hands, 6 feet, 6 brains, and the entire body is filled with countless attribute powers, holy patterns, and the demon pattern that is almost greedy for everything in this world. Tear it up. 2 demonic roars and slaughtering sounds, like death descending, completely shocked everyone in the demon world. The heartstrings of countless strong men tensed, and they quietly watched the white samsara latitude above the sky. The composition of this reincarnation latitude is to gather the reincarnation power of all the powerhouses in the demon world and many powerhouses in the endless fire domain. With such a huge restriction, it is still unable to suppress the attacks of 2 demigods. Bang! The world began to tremble, and countless blood rains were scattered at will, and many of them were filled with an extremely surging demon, holy flame, even demonic energy and many other forces. The destructive force instantly broke the shackles of the latitude of reincarnation, and immediately tilted down from the sky like rain, completely mixing the entire demon world into it. But the two attacks now stagnated in an instant. The surrounding area above the altar began to collapse and collapse, but the speed at which the black flame furnace fell was completely resisted by the golem. No matter how evil the furnace unleashed, it seemed to be pouring into it through the golem body little by little, and then feeding back to Xiao Yang little by little. This is not Xiao Yang's control, but more like the original behavior of this golem. It seems to have its own consciousness. The explosion began to spread out little by little, and the whole world was filled with a strange blood color as if all the vitality, in this kind of fluctuation, was instantly annihilated. The demon venerable, it's over. Holy flame, demon, destroy it. Although the confrontation between the two demigods was deadlocked, they were still in an evenly matched state. However, after a while, Xiao Yang's eyes swelled wildly, his body swelled, and he turned into a real demon's shadow. Destroy the entire sky. No, what kind of power is this? At this moment, the ridicule in Demon Venerable's eyes just disappeared, and bursts of fear suddenly surged in his mind. The use of the demigod technique almost drained the 9 layers of power in his body, but the power in Xiao Yang's body seemed to be inexhaustible. The self now has no chance of winning, the concept of winning or losing. At this moment, there is no suspense. The Demon Venerable didn't know until his death. Why did Xiao Yang control the demigod technique in his body? After all, it was an improved version of the third Holy Flame original technique. Why is there a medium in Kaylin's body to perform demigods? And he, of course, never knew that Kaylin had already completely inherited the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. If it wasn't for the lack of strength in his body, I'm afraid Kaylin alone would be able to directly perform a demigod technique, or even a more terrifying fighting technique. Finally, the two bodies above the sky were completely divided. Under the attack of the golem, the demon was completely destroyed. Xiao Yang, who was haunted by the devil's light, stepped on the sky, and the golem behind him became more and more gloomy. Both of them worked together to resist the aftermath of the extremely terrifying attack. The magic seal planted by the demon venerable dissipated in an instant, and countless strong men breathed a sigh of relief in their hearts. It's not over yet. The fluctuation of this explosion is too violent. Once it spreads, I'm afraid that the demon world will have no grass beyond the 3-layer net territory. Xiao Yang and the two stood in the sky, watching the destructive force that easily shattered the latitude of reincarnation and the altar in the center of the demon world sweeping around, with a solemn expression on their faces. Xiao Yang, I have a way to force it into the poison god realm. The confinement of their respective regions shattered instantly, and Kaylin's soul transmission emerged in Xiao Yang's mind. Okay. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he also started to act. At the same time, a beam of light that was noisy with countless powers appeared strangely above the void of the poison god realm. The power contained in it had almost reached a point of destruction. Even facing Kaylin today, it was a very tricky thing. But there is no way. Whether it is the 5 major regions of the demon world and many high-level endless fire regions, they have successively condensed the latitude of reincarnation and injected the 10-colored scales. The power has already been used cleanly. At this time, it seems that there is only myself. Susu. The aftermath of the attack from the 2 demigod fighting techniques should be enough to create a new supreme power again. At the same time, with the appearance of the energy beam, a thin old man who seemed to be ordinary, outside the bee pupae in the poison god realm, quietly walked to a dark corner and raised his head with a smile. He raised his hand, and a jade mirror that looked pure and flawless leaked out of it. Above the jade mirror, the whole body is silver and white, and even some mysterious power circulates, and a faint demonic energy soars to the sky. The energy beam that has spread out from the latitude of samsara seems to be attracted. At this time, it strangely leaves the attack range of Kaylin and is directly absorbed by this mirror. Above the mirror, a graceful silhouette gradually becomes clear up. Who? In order to absorb such a huge amount of energy, this person chose a very dazzling area. After a few breaths, Cai Lin noticed such a strange scene. It's just that even though this last thorny problem was solved, Kaylin felt a strong sense of unease in her heart. The inheritance of the 10-colored swallowing python, this world is prosperous, and there will still be some new amazing talents emerging. Looking at the figure in front of him, the thin old man didn't care at all. He actually slowly raised the other palm. A strange force like the coercion of heaven and earth filled Kaylin's body, making the latter's body unable to move instantly. In an instant, Kaylin's whole body froze, and the flow of blood and other forces in the body became slow, as if she was exiled into an unknown realm. That fluctuation, compared to the power of Demon Venerable and the others, is undoubtedly many times more powerful. It is even as good as the 10-colored swallowing python in its peak period. Die. A voice so cold that there was no trace of emotion emerged, and then the space around Kaylin collapsed little by little, and the wave of death filled her mind. The strength of this guy in front of him is really too terrifying. He is definitely not something he can resist now. Silver teeth nibbled, the 10-color snake spirit and the 10-color blood vessels flowing in the body boiled at the same time. Roar. At the same time, a golden dragon shadow suddenly split from the void behind Kaylin, and a roar resounding through the world swept out. At the moment when the sound of the dragon's roar was transmitted, the wave of destruction and death was instantly shattered by it. Golden Dragon King. The dragon family can't protect themselves, and they still have the energy to keep an eye on these weak people. What a pedantic person. But this trip to the devil world is over. See you next time, maybe it won't be so simple. After the thin figure finished speaking, the void around him suddenly shattered, and he disappeared completely here. Looking at this scene, the demon-suppressing sword in Kaylin's hand, and even the 10-colored snake spirit in her body instantly burst into a monstrous aura of fear, as if the faint fluctuation just now made the two feel like they are facing a formidable enemy. No! Is it an illusion? Recalling the strange situation just now, Kaylin frowned, because Kaylin saw a familiar figure from the strange situation just now. That is, the New World Master of the Ghost World Center, the Thunder Master. After a brief hesitation, there was no result. Cai Lin could only temporarily swept away her worries and led the army towards the Demon Palace. The catastrophe of the demon world finally completely disintegrated at this time. Lord Xiao Yu, thank you very much for your great kindness. The future of the demon world will be dispatched by you. The catastrophe was completely over, and the surviving leaders of the 5 major regions of the demon world, including the Demon God Palace and the Poison God Palace, gathered together and greeted Xiao Yang with a smile. If it wasn't for Xiao Yang's action, I'm afraid such a catastrophe would be irreversible. No, there should be someone more suitable than me in the demon world today. Xiao Yang shrugged slightly and looked at Su Shuiying beside him. The meaning of the words seemed very clear. This. Many high-level officials hesitated for a while, and then looked at the magic sword in Su Shuiying's hand with a faint magic glow, and did not hesitate. Su Shuiying and Xiao Yang have an unusual relationship. It is not uncommon for her to rule the demon world, but her strength is more or less difficult to convince the public. The future demon world will be recontrolled by this seat, and the holy demon sword is here. After receiving Xiao Yang's instruction, Su Shuiying suddenly burst out with a monstrous evil power, and immediately raised the magic sword with a solemn expression, and said to everyone present. From now on, Su Shuiying will be the ruler of our demon world. The great elder of the demon palace and others followed the trend. The catastrophe in the demon world is over, you should go back to your own realm to rectify. Let's take a break here, and then leave for home. Xiao Yang looked at Kaylin, Zuna, and the others beside him, and also smiled. Well, take a rest. Kaylin and Zuna smiled sweetly. This breath seems a little familiar. However, just when everyone was about to leave the meeting place for a quiet rest, above the sky of the demon world, there was an embarrassed figure that was dyed red with blood. At the moment it appeared, the power of blood in Xiao Yang's body began to beat. Xiao Ghost. Kaylin and Zuna spoke at the same time, and their voices were filled with surprise and urgency. Sir Xiao Yang, the big thing is bad. The catastrophe in the demon world seems to be a strategy of foreign evil clans. The fourth evil ***** leads the army to attack the headquarters of the Endless Fire Territory. The space channel of the Endless Flame Alliance and the other 4 places is blocked, and now the alliance is at stake. Bang! In the space, the original temperature instantly solidified, and an anger that was so cold that it could almost distort the mind filled it. Zuna, Kaylin, leave a part of the reinforcements to protect the demon realm, and the rest, come back to the Endless Fire realm with me. Let's go now. Yes. At this moment, a touch of unease appeared in my heart. The 4th evil god. That is almost a superpower that is above the ordinary 7-fold reincarnation order. With the background of the Endless Fire Territory headquarters, how to compete with it? However, the Endless Flame Alliance has just been established, and the Endless Fire Territory is Xiao Yang and others' countless years of hard work. How could it be destroyed in one fell swoop? The evil people from outside the realm are preparing to kill the chickens to warn the monkeys. This video will end here.